database system. So here is the console that allows you to create MySQL database. Yeah, so let me just go to that. So there basically there's 3 templates you can use. One is production, development, testings, and always free. So for every cloud account, there's a one instance of always free instance that you can use, which we don't charge. This is a very small instance, mainly for really for testing purpose. But you can choose a development or testing that allows you to create a bigger database. I think for this is just like one OCPU or something. Okay, it's very, very small, maybe 8 gig of memory. Okay, so you can choose the production or development. The major difference is really the number of the cores that require, right, for production. For production, it starts with 8 eCPU and above. And development and testing, you could create less than 8 eCPU database instance. Okay, so let me just go through. So here you have a choice to create a standalone database or a HA database, a HA cluster. In the HA clusters, we'll provision 3 database instances configured in a cluster model, right? So that it can provide you with high availabilities. Okay, so there's no need for you to manually, create different configuration and provision. So this is all automatically done for you. And you need to specify the cloud network. So before coming into creating database, you have to have a cloud network. So if you have been using the cloud, this is one of the first thing that you will create, right? So for a cloud network, so choose a cloud network, and the database will be created in a private subnet without a public IP. So it's all in the private subnet. Okay, it's very, very secure and for your database. So for the so here you can choose either the availability domain or the fault domain. So in the Frankfurt region, we have 3 availability domains. So this is a multi availability domain region. So you have a choice to choose the database endpoint. So this is the endpoint where your database, the primary database will be sitting. Okay, so just pick the default, and here you can choose the configuration, the shape, right? How big is that database? So as I said, because you choose the production, yeah, automatically it selected the 8 eCPU shape for you. So think of this as a virtual CPU, vCPU, right? So this is similar to the vCPU, the virtual core, right? So you can change the shape if you want a bigger machine. So here's a list of the different sizes that you can choose. So you can choose from a minimum of 2, but in the production, it only allows you to start with 8. And the largest is 256 eCPU with 1 terabyte of memory. Okay, and then the larger shape comes with a bigger bandwidth. So depending on your workload, here's how you can pick and choose the eCPU memory as well as the network bandwidth. Okay, so if this is a high latency, low latency kind of application, you want to choose a larger network bandwidth. Okay, so okay, and then we have this HeatWave clusters. This is a unique features that we have only in the Oracle MySQL HeatWave. Is that this is a high-speed HeatWave engine that allows you to process your data really, really fast, running analytics, running a machine learning, as well allows you to build the Gen AI application. So here you can choose to create a HeatWave clusters on the MySQL database engine. Okay, so you can start with one node and all the way to 512 nodes. So it's a clusters with a minimum one node, and you can scale all the way to 512 nodes in the clusters. Okay, each one of this node is come with 16 eCPU and 512 gig of memory, and with 16 gig of network. And here you can also enable the lakehouse features, which allows you to connect to object storage to load data, to load the data file into the HeatWave engine. So later on, I'll explain a bit more on HeatWave and what is it used for. But for now, just have to remember that besides the database engine, the MySQL transaction engine, you can choose to add a HeatWave clusters to complement the MySQL database for high-speed data processing, analytics, machine learning, and Gen AI workload. Okay, so and then we need to choose the storage for the MySQL database. So we can start with as small as 50 gig of memory, gig of storage, all the way to 128 terabyte. And the largest of the storage will give you will support the larger IOPS. So depending on the workload, you can choose like 2 terabyte to start with. You can see that the throughput and IOPS are increased. You can also choose to expand the storage automatically. So when you your storage will never be it will never be full, right? Because it automatically expands. And backup point automatically will be selected for you. So this will do the system will help you to do daily backup, and will keep the backup for 7 days. And of course, you can change it. Yeah, 14 days. Point in time recovery allows you to restore your database up to 5 minutes of the whatever time that you selected. And we can also allow you to do a cross-region copy, so that you have another database copy in another region. For example, in the US, right, in Ashburn or in Phoenix. So you can do that. The other features that which is relatively new is the MySQL Studio. So this is a web-based studio, which allows you to work with the database. For example, the Gen AI, the natural language queries and things like that. So you can enable this and then start using tools to work with the more advanced features of the MySQL. And lastly is the DBA email to receive announcement, patching notice, and things like that. And those are the basic features. And the more advanced, I will just go through all of this to use so that you know what all this mean. Deletion point allows you to protect the database so that you don't accidentally delete your database. Right? So you need to turn this off before you can terminate the database, so that they give you protection, so that you don't accidentally delete your database. Automatic backup retention, final backup. If you decided you want to terminate, delete the database, it will keep the backup, one final backup for you in case you need to restore the database. Okay, another protection for you to make sure that you don't lose data. Configuration, this is where you can choose the database version. Yeah, so as again, it's advisable that you use at least 8.4 for now, right? Because 8.0 is coming to end of life very soon in April. And we also have another version, the version 9. So the main difference between these two versions is really, the 8.4 is the long-term support version, which means that it has a 2 years release cycle lifespan. And within the 2 years, we will release fixes and patches, security patches, but without any major new features. Whereas in 9.0, this is the innovation release. In this release, we'll constantly release new features. For those of you who want to, build a Gen AI application, innovation, machine learning, and things like that, version 9 is what you want to choose, okay? Because it has all the latest, greatest innovation. Okay, just choose the 9.5. And you can also choose to use the whether you want to manage your own key or you want to let us manage the encryption key to encrypt your data in the storage. Okay, connection, you can option give a name for the database so that this can be used as an internal host name to connect to your database. REST is a web services endpoint, which allows you to, integrate to external systems using REST protocol. Okay, so you can turn it on, and then you could, use web services to talk to the database. With endpoints, another endpoints for the database. I believe I've chosen the HA. So I can specify both the another endpoints for reading. Okay, REST recovery, maintenance. You could choose your maintenance, right? Here you could choose whichever date if you don't want to system to assign to you. Yeah, Sunday and UTC time or whatever. Management. Okay, management. I think this is soon to be. There's some changes here, so we don't enable it. Data import is for you to specify, what data that you want to import after the database is being created. Okay, so this is the object storage location where you have all the data exported. Here again, I would go through all this with you in more detail later on. But for now, just remember this is a object storage location. Okay, so the rest is just tagging purposes. So these are all the major, configuration settings that you can set when you create a database.